Now Drag Race. Hot take, but I actually agree with the bottom two, but not the elimination. There's no way they were going to send Q home, though. That's the thing. I liked Q's look. I liked Amanda's look. I think if she hadn't had the other two, like wig heads in there, it might have been better. But I liked the idea. I liked the concept a lot. I thought the costume was cool. And I thought it was a good use of like the silhouette of a kitty cat wig with those like zigzaggy lines of the bang, and then doing that on the face as well. I thought was a really clever idea. I don't know. And then obviously Q's performance in the challenge was rough. But they were never going to send Q home after that runway, and given everything else they've seen from Q. It just wasn't going to happen. I don't know if Amanda did something to the editors that they have shown us so much of people hating on Amanda that we didn't need to see to still understand like her experience. So that bothered me a bit. You're a newer fan, but you understand people's frustration with the lip sync battles. I wish production would just admit that they don't judge it based purely on best lip syncer if someone has a stronger overall performance throughout the season. That's part of it, but then sometimes someone's in the bottom 4 times and they make it to the end. And then they're not going to win at the end because nobody else has been in the bottom that much. But sometimes they just keep pulling it out in the lip sync. My issue is that the edit always shows you who's going to win the lip sync. It's extreme. If you've watched a couple of seasons of Drag Race, they edit the lip syncs the same way every time, and you always can tell who's going to win the lip sync. But I really enjoyed the two of them in the lip sync. I thought they were both having a lot of fun, and it was really fun to watch. Sorry, I know we're talking completely different subjects here, but I was telling my partner about rating you last night and told her about the clip thing popping up. There was literally no word. It was straight up fuck's sake. As soon as the clip started, no, it's okay. We definitely curse here. No problem whatsoever. It made me laugh really hard because it reminds me of several of my friends. I enjoyed it. It is really funny that that's the very start of the clip, though. Yeah. But it is okay to be talking about multiple things at once, especially given you're here hanging out, but don't watch the shows that we're talking about. So I apologize that we can't particularly include you in that aspect of the conversation. Scott, you thought all 3 girl groups did well. I did too. I thought the first one was the weakest in terms of they didn't look like a group, where the other 2 groups managed to pull together a really cohesive look for all 4 people, which I know is super hard to do. Because you don't know who you're going to be in a group with, and you don't know what people have in their closets. Continue to be over Plain Jane. Oh my god. Me too. If she held the same energy towards the whole cast that she holds for Amanda, I would respect it more as a villain, but she just goes for the easiest target. Yeah. And even when she apologized to Q, she was like, I'm sorry if you felt that way, which is the textbook definition of a fake apology. You got to say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That wasn't my intention. But I recognize that was your experience, and I'm sorry that I caused that. But you're not actually sorry. You're sorry they felt that way, but you're not sorry about what you did. Unless you forget the words to the lip sync. There was a case in a season where a frontrunner lost because she didn't bother to learn lip sync song. Yeah, that was pretty iconic and deeply uncomfortable. No apology needed. You've been very welcoming throughout yesterday and today. That's more than enough for me to feel included. Oh, I'm glad, Kyle. It's cool to chat with you and get to know you a little bit. It's definitely true, which I appreciate. They at least hold that line. Yeah, because I think if Mirage had known the words last week, she wouldn't have gone home. But when you don't know the words, you don't know the words. And look, it's a lot of pressure. I'm not in that situation. I'm not here to judge anybody. But that's just the criteria of the competition. You got to know the words to the lip sync if you end up in the lip sync. I'm not saying I could do better. I'm just saying that's what you have to do. Muse, what seasons have you watched? if you're a newer Drag Race fan. I'm so curious. Like, have you just watched the most recent ones? When did you start? Have you gone back at all to earlier seasons? Because season 9 actually isn't one of my favorites, but it does have my favorite drag queen of all time in it. I've only completely watched 15, 16, and All Stars 8, but you've watched lots of clips from past seasons. Got you. The seasons I would most highly recommend if you were to go back are probably 4, 5, and 8 off the top of my head. And All Stars 2, but that'll spoil some things for you. But All Stars 2, I think, is highly regarded as maybe the best season of Drag Race, which aired after season 8. And then after that, you get into the like Drag Race fatigue of it just being on all the time. And I think all the seasons after season 9 just like run together in my head. Like if you listed all the winners for me, I could probably put them in order. But if you just gave me seasons and made me name the winners, I don't know if I could do that. And I've watched most of those seasons more than once. Certainly 1 through 9 I've watched several times. I don't know if they are anymore, or probably not, but they used to all be on Netflix, so it was really easy to watch them without commercials, just kind of like on a roll, on a binge. You've been watching since the logo days? Me too. The first season I watched live was season 4. I think it was 4. Let me double check the year, but I'm pretty sure it was 4. Yeah, I've been with them on their many network transitions. 2012, yeah, so I watched Series 4. I watch a lot of British TV. Season 4 was the first season I watched in real time. And then I figured out how to watch 2 and 3, but for the longest time, you couldn't watch season 1 anywhere. If you see a moment from a season referenced on social media, you will go look up that specific episode and watch that part of it to see what the reference is. But you don't mind getting spoiled on stuff, Muse. You seek it out, right? People got really stressed that I was watching, when I started talking to people as I was watching Survivor for the first time. People were getting really stressed out that I was watching the seasons out of order. But I looked up like the list of all the seasons, and I just went for the themes that sounded the most interesting to me. You look up spoilers for pretty much every show you ever watch. That is wild to me. You do you, but that's crazy. Your first season was 3, and then you retroactively watched 1 and 2. How did you watch 1? Because for like a decade, it was called The Lost Season. Like, you couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't online. Like, it wasn't on Logo. It wasn't on Netflix. Netflix had like seasons 2 through 8, but not season 1. Are you spoiled on this season of Drag Race, Muse? Like, I didn't really care, but I was almost a little annoyed that I found out the cast for Taskmaster Series 17 about a week before they officially announced the cast. And that doesn't matter at all. That's nothing about the outcome. That's just who's going to be on the show. It's information you're going to know in a week that doesn't impact anything else. And I'm still like, oh, I want it to be I like surprises. Most of the time. You think you caught a marathon one day? The first episode I ever watched, I watched with my friend who I was visiting at a gay bar in Philadelphia. That was my introduction to the show, was watching it at a watch party when it was still on Monday nights to bring in businesses to bars on a slow night, where they moved it to Friday when people are already going to be at a bar anyway. I remember when that shift happened, and like there was a lot of discussion or a lot of outcry from like bartenders and managers at gay bars across the country that they were like, this is gonna wreck our bottom line quite a bit, or like our profits, I guess, more so than the bottom line. But I would love if it was on Mondays again. Just personally. Okay, we're going to try and catch some Z's, but hopefully I'll catch your next one. I hope you had an amazing stream and enjoy the stream chat. Much love and take care of yourselves, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Kyle. I really appreciate you saying hi again tonight, even though it's so late for you. Get some sleep. You've looked up spoilers for this season. Ah! Are you going to look up spoilers for season 46 of Survivor? And if you are, before you do that, do you want to do the draft before you spoil yourself? They've already filmed the finale and the reunion? That's lame. I remember when the finales used to be live. I think they would usually have filmed the reunion beforehand, but then they'd do the finale and then air the reunion. Or sometimes they'd air the reunion before the finale, which is weird, but... Okay. If I'm going to play Persona tonight, we should do it soon. Because I have so much game left to play, apparently, according to Alex, who's played this game 3 times, which seems impossible to me, given I've been playing it for 100 million hours. Not 100 million, but over 100. You haven't looked yet, but you will at some point. Okay. You do you.